Not of the sponsor. Thank you, Representative Slater. You've really distinguished yourself with regard to your work towards social justice. I have to say this, you would make your father very proud.
Thank you.
Now, my question, I think, is more for the chairman and
Sure.
those of you of the legal profession. No disrespect, Representative Slater. As a layman, I get a little bit confused at times. There are certain issues on this committee that I feel very honed in on. There are some that I feel a little less honed in. Didn't we put processes in place last year through justice reinvestment with regard to expungement?
Yes.
Was any of that expungement have to do with levels of felonies?
Not necessarily. There's a termination. You probably were remembering one of the functions that came out of justice reinvestment was a calendar in the Superior Court, which exists now, where people's probation is terminated early because they have earned the right in accordance with their probation officers or the sitting judge or the prosecutor or whatever, because there's a prosecutor that participates in that process. And if they deem that a guy that, or a woman that got 25 years probation on top of a sentence in jail should be relieved of that responsibility so that they won't be actively on probation, then the court listens to the testimony and listens to whatever evidence is brought forward by the probation department and then terminates the probation immediately.
But as far as expungement of felonies, there's no process.
There is a process. The process hasn't been changed in the sense that a felony, 10 years from the completion of the sentence, which would be probation as well. So you get time served or suspended and then probation. And then from the completion of that probation, 10 years out, then you can file for expungement.
So there is a process.
Yes, and then misdemeanors is 5 years. What we did last year was we allowed misdemeanors to be expunged in multiples of 6.
Misdemeanors, I remember. I was wondering what the process was regarding the felony.
No, there has been no change to that yet. There was
is
bills that...
But there is a process on the books.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Let's
Because
say...
we've banned the box,
Yep.
and there is a process to expunge the felony.
Correct. I'll give you an example. 5 years suspended sentence, 5 years probation for breaking into a business. At the end of that 5 years, wait 10, don't get in any more trouble, and you're entitled to file a motion to expunge, and after 15 years from the date you received that sentence, to clear your record.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
You're welcome.